quite the even series. I think Liquid, they're, I think it was Blitz who something to me that said always have faith in Kuro because Kuro he's a slow roller. I think he meant like by when Kuro builds his teams and he touches. He's not going to be the one who builds the team and then like boom instantly we have success like Barris is, right? He's going to need a little bit more time to have those kind of adjustments. Maybe it's a captaining style, maybe it's something I don't know what it is, but it does seem like Liquid are beginning to ramp up, much like we saw from the former Team Liquid back when the Frankfurt Major, right? They didn't even qualify to that. They were really favored or in the upper bracket and boom. And then make it still ended up being one of the most dominant teams in that season shortly after. So it does feel like this Liquid is doing a similar roll forward here, leading into the what we've kind of called as a pseudo major in DAC and leading into Kiev major as well.
Reserve time.
Both these teams will be very hungry to succeed now and prove themselves with majors coming up. I mean, it's crazy to think, like, even out of these teams, like, with barring like a direct invite somewhere, they may be competing over 1 or 2 spots in the European region between Secret, Liquid, Bears, Adfin, potentially. Who knows? Alone, we've seen like from the very get-go, very close games in the qualifiers, and it's only going to keep getting better in the playoffs. So, draft-wise, Ember Spirit. I feel like we have not seen much Ember Spirit in this qualifiers, despite the heroes rise to prominence because of either being banned out or there's a lot of the teams just carrying it too.
I wonder why that is. Ember Spirit here does... I was kind of like trying to think about whether or not Ember Spirit was good versus Lone Druid when I was trying to break that hero down and see what counters there were to it. And it seems like it's okay, right? It's aggressive. It's a lot of burst damage potentially. Early on when you're able to just like triple on top of that hero so you can blow them up and don't have to worry about Savage Roar. And then later on to the game as well, you're able to output your damage from a distance. Not as consistently. It's based off of sleight of fist only, but it is at least damage from a distance. You don't have to worry about that Savage Roar gap closer. It does feel like it checks some of the boxes, but I am still concerned that Liquid, especially with the sustain that they have from the Dazzle, opportune times for Shallow Graves, that Lone Druid will still be able to come out on.
Yeah, I think my thoughts with Secret picking this is they were the first to pick these heroes regardless of what Liquid got. Like, let's say they open with, like, Dazzle, like, and an Earth Spirit or something. I feel like, regardless of what 2 heroes Liquid had, assuming, like, let's say Lone Druid is banned or not available, because that's another, like, big playmaking hero where you get first a lot, I think that Ember was going to be there regardless. Just like it's them drafting to their own draft rather than, like, oh, they picked Lone Druid, let's get Ember.
Right.
So, we'll see. Probably some of these later picks be the more reactionary ones to what Liquid are doing.
Darkseer and Sniper going to be the bans by Liquid. They'll get a pick up here in a support. Rubik nice and open. Does have some decent hold against Ember Spirit. Nice reaction and spell to the Slardar. And has some pretty good steals. But Team Secret really liking this pickup here. The Crystal Maiden. Another nice freezing here. Really good versus the Lone Druid. We talked about the Frostbite interaction with the Bear. But also this aura seems to be pretty valuable when you have an Ember Spirit and even Slardar.
Yeah, CM's one of those heroes that's been quietly getting buffs from time to time over the various patches. Frostbite seems to just keep getting better and better with that 6-second cooldown at level 4. And then at level, I mean, you're never going to get level 25, but if you somehow do get level 25, you've got a 4.5-second duration on it. So CM's seems to be in a pretty good place, has good talents in general, which I think is one of the other nice things about Crystal Maiden in the current patch, but does just offer a strong, stable support that both Slardar and Ember both benefit a lot from having the Arcane Aura with.
Team Liquid, what do we think? We already have our mid Ember Spirit. Maybe they could pick up their mid if they wanted to, though I kind of prefer picking up an offlaner, and I kind of like Nyx Assassin versus the Ember Spirit. It makes it so when Ember Spirit split pushes, he has to farm without Flame Guard, or else potentially be Spike Carapace, Vendetta, and then a follow-up stun. But Nyx hasn't really been high priority a lot of times. Maybe that's because of lack of Ember, but I feel like Nyx is kind of fallen by the wayside as an offlaner.
Yeah, the other heroes, I definitely on board with the Nyx idea, because I was thinking, all right, the first few heroes, I was like, oh, is it like an
Legion
Axe or a
Commander.
Sand King type hero? They're Legion, but I think the idea is you want an
Secrets, turn
initiator,
to
and to me,
pick.
Nyx is like one of the better initiators to have against an Ember Spirit. So Legion against the Ember as an initiator, but also good against the Corrosive Haze, having a purge to get rid of it. And something, I wonder if there's any kind of thought for Liquid about not putting it in the
10
offlane,
seconds
considering it
remaining.
like swapping up the lanes. I think we saw, was it Alliance do a Legion
5
Commander mid
seconds
against an Ember
remaining.
Spirit, but
Yeah.
a hero that can be a bit flexible.
Yeah, the Legion does match up quite well
Reserve
against
time,
the Ember
10
Spirit. You can
seconds
take off
remaining.
the chains right with your press the attack, and early on in the I
5
think the
seconds
first two
remaining.
levels, your nuke is obviously level 1 easily,
Liquid's
big enough to take off the
turn to
flame
bat.
card, and level 3, I think it's dependent on how many creeps they're able to take away that flame guard, which is obviously one of the bigger threats here. Team Secret, though, they did have this starter first pick, and they're gonna go back for the life stealer
10
to have
seconds
that
remaining.
combination. We're leading a little bit more towards Slardar off lane, but that
5
has still
seconds
been
remaining.
worked around plenty of times.
Yeah, it could be still fairly open with
Reserve
either of the two
time.
if they want to get maybe some big team fights. Heroes like the Enigma still stand out as something Kazu's been playing a lot of. It does fill in that gap of having like a clear mech buyer, if that's something they
turn
want to
to
be able to
ban.
have, like also a pushing here. But we'll see what Team Secret are looking to do soon enough, as they'll be picking their hero before Liquid, who then can kind of react to it. They'll know exactly, well, they should know where the side is going based on Secret's last pick, and then they can decide how they want to
10
approach this game with their last
seconds
pick. Because they themselves have flexibility. I mean, not just the Legion as far as potential mid,
5
but we've seen
seconds
teams run Lone
remaining.
Druid both in the mid lane and the safe lane.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So there's a lot of flexibility here. Alchemist, I was just thinking, like,
Secret's
Seeking
turn
Liquid
to
could do
pick.
Alchemist last pick, and that would be pretty threatening for Secret, as that is one of the heroes that can match up well against the Ember Spirit in that mid lane. Secret rounded out with well, they actually banned away the Timber
10
Saw, so Liquid are
turn.
still fearing a potential off-lane changeroo,
Liquid's
but
turn
they're
to
going to stick
pick.
with the off-lane Slardar and grab what is kind of expected for. They gave it a nice roaming hero, jungler.
Interesting. So right now, looking at some okay deal between the
10 seconds
Rubik Fade
remaining.
Bold and the overwhelming odds, but get a decent mid-game
5
timing with like the
seconds
chances of the mech carrier, so kind of not a similar hero to the Enigma in like his skill set, but at least in what he's going to bring to the team with a bit of
Reserve
pushing
time.
power and team fight utility. Chen is going to be a bit more early game presence for Team Secret, to give them some early game rotation potential as well.
For me, I'm kind of still down with the Legion Commander mid. He does have that press the attack, a little heal, takes off the chain, so you know the Chen's going to be coming for you in that mid lane king. So I'm still down with that if they want to change to a different offlaner. But can you think of a different mid that would be better suited to these games?
I want like an Invoker type hero. That's probably one of the ones that stands out to me. I mean, put Miracle on one of his classic heroes and something's going to scale to late game. Is a bit vulnerable to those ganks potentially, but I mean, you got Jewel into Sunstrike, Telekinesis as well as a potential setup. I mean, they want something with some damage output. Troll Warlord makes his debut though in DAC Europe.
Ooh, Troll Warlord plus Lone Druid? That sounds nasty. Ugh.
That does sound disgusting. Oh, damn. So Troll is a hero we don't get to see all too often. Very strong laning hero. I think that's probably one of this hero's most underrated aspects, is he is actually a lane dominator with a slow as well as the ability to build up attack speed by like trying to zone the offlaner consecutively with his fervor or whatever the skill's called. Can't even remember. He is very good in the lane. I think his biggest downfall is his rate that he farms. He doesn't farm particularly fast. He reminds me of a Chaos Knight where like you can kind of dominate your lane, you can get a good couple of first items, but then if you don't just like snowball out control, the hero does seem to start falling off. And then you've also got this like conundrum in the mid to late game. It's like, do you go melee and look for the like kind of awkward decision between the two that you often have to make.
Back into the game. Small crash, but we'll be able to see the wards placed out. Legion Commander Their offlaner already placing a nice ward to be able to scout the Chen's rotations here between top and middle. And we're also going to get it against the Emperor, which I imagine matches up very favorable.
Yeah, it should be very, very good for him. I'm liking this troll set. This is one of the new ones. Looks more like Monkey King, or it looks a lot like Monkey King. Having flashback. Oh no. It works. When you said it last game, me stupidly like, oh, is it broken? It crashed, so I clicked it and I didn't crash. But I was just like, why would I click it after Cap just said it crashed? Like, but yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it seems okay.
It's all reactionary, you know. We just hear things and we do things, and you know, happens and sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, but this 1v1 matchup mid is fantastic for Troll. We'll likely have to see early help, or just they're going to have to sack the lane and focus on winning some of these other lanes. CM's not the best hero to kind of sit around the mid lane. You either want to be farming the jungle or perhaps zoning the offlaner a little bit, but staying near for some of those pull camps, so not sure how easily they're going to have to deal with this mid matchup. But that's Ember's. I think that's a big reason why Ember has not been getting picked quite as much as it used to, is because laning stage is this hero's one biggest weakness with certain matchups.
Gods, if you could go ahead and do me a favor and tell the Dota TV people they may need to click the audio channel on.
Sure. Since some of you watching in Dota TV, if you can currently not hear Cap, you need to reselect the audio channel, toggle it off and on, and then you should be able to hear him again.
Alright, Dazzle is going to be sitting behind Mind Control. He's already feeling Puppy's presence here with the early Satyr. Not much Dazzle can do about that one. The Satyr Tormentor is going to get off a good amount of damage against this Legion Commander. I do like the idea that most of the time Puppy's been like, he'll show up and maybe he'll pick up his level 3 before he even does his rotation, but putting a lot of emphasis on zoning.
Yeah, this looks like this would be a problem lane for Secret if not for Puppy's presence. Like, I look at this 2v2, Dazzle Legion against CM Lifestealer. The melee carry Lifestealer doesn't do well trading hits with the Legion early on, and CM, very low movement speed, bad at fighting early on. They do lose Puppy's creep though. The last hit even going to Mind Control, so that's some decent golden XP picked up by the Liquid dual lane. And Puppy doesn't have best creep to grab. He gets the Mind Stealer. He's going to go for some mana burn play, which is annoying, but this is not really the optimal position to be in as a Chen. You don't want to be like sitting around in this top lane with unable to farm with that mana burn. You may fall back and try to find some stacks, but ideally he needs to transition into some items and levels at this point.
Been trying to keep my eye on this mid lane matchup and see how dominant Miracle can be with the Troll over the Ember Spirit. It does seem to be off to a pretty good start. He's forced mid one to Shrine already, has a decent number of eyes. I think there is a chance for rebuttal when mid one starts getting the higher levels of Flame Guard, but for now it does seem Troll to be able to win the matchup pretty handedly. What happened to Kezu? Oh dear, Kezu. GH struck again.
Yeah. Interesting. And they flop a Sentry Ward, so they get some vision. They see he's still up there. Not sure. Not sure Sentry's going to do all too much. You'll lose that vision soon enough.
Puppy, he needs to pick up that level 2 and send Kezu home.
Yeah, that's actually probably going to be the play here. The Shrine's there if you need some extra mana to support that, but yeah. Not looking good. GH is just going to linger around. I wonder at some point if you go for the kill, but yeah, Puppy's coming in with his level 2 now.
There's the send back. Not too much time lost for Kezu. It's not the total disaster it could have been without Puppy's influence.
Yeah, imagine if you have a Chen, how long he could be stuck up there. Could wait for like a flying career with TP if none of your teammates can rotate down to bring one.
And the lane's pushing in for him as well. So he'll pick up some experience right out. Okay. Up his level 3. Later on, this game's gonna look kind of nasty for Lifestealer. They do the Solar Dart Lifestealer bomb against the Lone Druid, which you talked about is a potential way to deal with him, but he's still gonna have problems with the Spirit Bear. Then you have the Troll on top of that, who I think is a distinct counter to the Lifestealer, and in some ways, so is Legion Command.
Yeah, I think they've got a lot of really nice little counter picks, so will be tough for Secret to play around that, but definitely I feel like this early game, like for mid 1 especially in the mid lane, has gone a lot better than I expected in this 1v1. I mean, I've never seen a Troll Ember on this current patch, or really even on previous patches all too much in the mid lane, but Ember has managed to pretty much go even on CS, despite the harass and lane potential of the Troll Warlord.
Away, GH, run away.
Don't go near that cliff again, though. He wants Kezu back there. Mind control level 4. Kuro's now rotated towards mid with his Dazzle, so thinking that there may be some kind of aggressive move coming out soon from Puppey on the Chen. Doesn't seem to be the case right now.
Rotation from GH and Kuro. Is Miracle going to eat its way through these trees to get the surprise initiation? Pops out, gets the axes onto mid 1. They kind of need a bash here to ensure this kill, and maybe they don't. Just the right clicks from the supports will do it, but Miracle is going to be caught underneath this tier 1 tower. The last tower shot to finish him off. The CM. He managed to get that counter kill, so 1 point straight up. That's not bad for Secret, considering the way that Troll wins that lane.
Yeah, not too bad. It was the first blood, but even that was picked up by the Rubik, so too bad at all. Rubik going to be getting some decent come because of it, but mid 1's instantly back to the lane, going to be getting his level 6 fairly soon. Once he's level 6, there's not really much kill potential onto him unless he like overextends going for a dive of some sort, so definitely good news for that. I like the play from Liquid trying to chew their way through those trees to get that kill. Good play to shut down in 1 if you can get him before he hits level 6, but it does somewhat backfire. They'll be hitting the phase boots on Troll Warlord soon, but as said, they can't really do much more to pressure mid 1 now that he's about to hit 6.
Yeah, that is something, right? The draft pretty heavily faced against a Lifestealer, but Ember Spirit will have a pretty free game when it comes to his mobility. There's not a whole lot of lockdown from the Liquid side of things. They just have that laning phase matchup, which is favorable, but everything else should be good for mid 1. He's really going to have to carry Secret for this game 1.
Yeah, for considering they picked the Ember in the first 2, it's a little surprising how little lockdown Liquid have picked. I mean, they're going to be relying very much on the duel to kind of either lock him down. They've got the telekinesis as well, but it does feel like they may be a bit short-handed as far as dealing with mid 1, and well, they're going to have to deal with him now. He's rotating bottom with a haste rune. Seems to have been scouted out. There were lines being drawn by Miracle saying, hey, look, this is a very possible rotation. They will see mid 1 now with the Observer Ward to know that he's coming back mid.
Mind Control's had a free go of it. Picked up his phase boots. Got a good amount of CS for an offlaner, 24 and 1. Compare that to the Slardar. Kezu only 13 CS. We are going to have a smoke rotation. With that ward, maybe they could have scouted out the fact that, hey, they were playing pretty passive. Looks like there's a ward there, so maybe with this smoke rotation, we can catch Liquid off guard here, thinking that they're safe from further rotations. So they're going to run into GH first. GH has already popped the smoke, sees the rotation now, is going to be caught immediately. Now, Secret not immediately turning for 2. Highlight die a little bit slow there on the Frostbite, is not going to be able to catch Matu on his way back, but that's okay. They've got the presence now in lane, and Matu is probably just going to have to leave.
Yeah, that's the kill which sets you up to push tower. You're looking ideally for the lone druid, but you take the first kill you can get. Interestingly, Lifestealer investing in is going to scout out this lane, see what's happening there. Goes in with an ensnare, and he
press the attack, but here comes the chain. The duel on the mid 1. Mid 1 is dropping faster than Mind Control. They will manage to pick up that victory and get the Shallow Grave on the Mind Control. So MP, he's going to be stuck. Gets bursted down. A big hit from GH with the Fade Bolt finishes him off, and now Pylai Dai going to be chased down underneath the tower by this bear. He stops the bear up for a moment with the Frostbite, but still going to be caught in the end. The rebound from Secret. Nice turn from Liquid.
Yeah, it just feels a bit too aggressive to make that play when you've just got that kill at bottom. You've rotated 3 heroes bottom, kill there, and ideally the follow-up play there for Secret, the safe play is just to pressure bottom tower, which means top lane is vulnerable. So going aggressive top lane as a Lifestealer when you're in the vulnerable lane seems a bit counterintuitive, and Liquid doing a very good job to punish it.
Yeah, Mind Control even immediately rotates bottom, and the tower takes almost no shots whatsoever because Mind Control comes in with that level 4 overwhelming odds, and a Chen push just melts like that from that big time nuke. So they defend their tower completely, no chip damage really done. Take the safe lane tower away from Secret. Secret, they seem to be doing okay for themselves in the laning phase, but it all goes wrong with those first rotations.
Yeah, Mid-1 felt like he couldn't really stay in this lane. While there isn't much kill threat on him, he also can't easily farm the lane, so he's trying to be that big active playmaker moving around the map. First rotating bottom, then trying to rotate top, and has not found much success this game so far.
There is still the top CS for MP, so that one death does set him back, but he still is going to be decently up there, and at worst in third right now. Do really need that armlet. They do really need the Blink Dagger for Kezu. It looks like he is going to be finishing that pretty quickly, so there is still opportunity for Secret to take back control of this game, but it's going to be dependent on that initiation.
Yeah, he's not even upgrading to the Tranquil Boots, which I think is important here to get that Blink at the earliest possible timing because of how important it's going to be to find some pickoffs using the Lifesteal. Lifestealer doesn't want to just sit around farming. He's going for the Armlet first as well, which is a build you go for when you want to fight around that Armlet timing, so we'll likely be seeing that early Blink used for good stuff.
GH runs in a mid one, but it does have a rim.
Okay. I'm watching, I'm like, what's his play here? And then yeah, sure enough, has a good escape.
This'll come in handy.
That is the thing with this this Ember Spirit, the change up and all this magic damage. Rubik's have been picked up quite a bit against Ember Spirit. We're realizing, hey, that magic burst damage that Ember's outputting is just as good when Rubik is able to steal it. And it serves as a nice escape mechanism.
And later stage, you have some magic resistance in the null field.
Yeah.
So not all too shabby. And as it stands, Liquid have weathered the storm of the early game aggression from the Ember. He does hit level 9 now. His next big aggression likely to come off that Veil timing. He ideally wants to get it around this Blink, which Kezu's just about got. So 11 minutes in, we'll be seeing Kezu pick up the Blink Dagger, and we're getting from MP on the Lifesteal that he's just a little bit short of the Armlet, so may not quite be ready to go for that smoke movement until they get the Armlet complete.
As a result, from those slower timings, they end up losing their mid towers into deny range now. It's that one rotation, right? That top lane fight that they had, it set Secret back quite a bit because you want that Armlet right now. You want to have that Blink Dagger. You want to start making those rotations and try and punish, but fortunately, Secret not ready to go with the timings again. GH just being a thorn in their sides in this mid lane. Always pressuring and then jumping out again. I will come out from it.
He was trying to see if he could like snipe the tower or something, and Mid-1 wasn't having any of it, but like you say, it's just this constant nuisance that he's applying. He's creating some space elsewhere on the map. The Troll is able to farm the bottom lane. The Lone Druid rotates in the jungle. They're about to hit this timing where they've got Maelstrom with the bonus 200 attack range. So Matu suddenly hits his first time where he can really join his team and perhaps offer some presence in a fight. Has got the maxed out Rabbit as well, so all that extra attack speed to go with this. But here come Secret. No Armlet, but they want to fight. They want to find this Lone Druid. They see him with the Observer Ward, but Matu is very, very fast.
He's sitting in the trees. They place down another ward just to try and get the vision of Matu to ensure they get this successful gank. Matu's playing back. They've got 3 wards all around this area. See Matu deep behind his tower.
It's going to scout him out in a second.
Bounce back.
Well, Dire's kind of up top. You see Kuro.
Trying to judge, I think, how many heroes are down here in this bottom lane, and if Mid-1 can catch any of them, if they are top. They are finally finding Matu. They're going to be able to rage out with the amplified damage across the phase. It's close, but it gets an entangle. He could have chased him down with the phase boots and gotten that last click, and this is where the timing comes in, gods. If he had the Armlet, he's definitely dead there.
He's had the money since the Infest, just through the gold he's been getting while sitting there. But yep, not having an armlet makes all the world of difference there. Mind Control gets his blink, which allows him to blink TB out just before Kezu finds him in secret. Waste a lot of time with this first blink pickup. They've had the blink now for a full 2 minutes, and during that 2 minutes, MP has not been farming. Kezu's just not been trying to find kills, and they have not achieved anything at all. They're going to try and resolve things by taking a tier 1 bottom tower, but they could theoretically try and defend it using the overwhelming odds, or they can just look for trades elsewhere on the map, and it seems Roshan is the call. With Battle Trance, they kill this very fast.
Yeah, they've got the Argus armor on the troll to slow down those Roshan hits. Less bashes means more right-clicking time for Miracle. And mid one, we've already said he has to go in big in general in this game, but he has to go in real big right now if he wants to be able to stop this Roshan. He already puts out the big. Starts going on to Matu, but there's the duel. Mid one in trouble, has no saving grace. Secret, they come in too late. They just have to give up Roshan now. Kezu picks up the invis, but a counter will lay down and keep on beating into Roche. Secret infest in, try and find an opening with the invis as they wrap around, but it's just not going to happen. 5-2 now with Liquid holding a large lead, not just Aegis, but a 3,500 gold lead and about the same in experience.
Yeah, they just catch Secret off guard. Secret's like, well, our ganks haven't worked bottom lane, let's take a tower. But the second they show themselves coming to the tier 1, Liquid's in the pit, killing that in no time at all. And, well, they'll try and turn that Roche into further clashes or objectives now. Mind Control is ready to go with another duel in 3 seconds' time. And is being pinged out, and this Lifestealer may just die here.
He's thinking, I've got a little bit of farming time, but Liquid are too fast. They catch him, they're even going to be able to kill him by the duel time, so we get now 34 extra damage on Mind Control. He is going to be that third core. Sometimes you see Legion Commanders, and with this kind of lineup, you might expect Secret to be able to take the early game, duels not being found, and Legion Commander looking like a relatively weak third core, but with this kind of progression on Liquid, all 3 cores are going to be nicely long and have a lot of damage out there.
Yeah, the Battle Trance in the duel gives Mind Control so much right-click potential, and yeah, 34 duel damage already makes a big difference for his damage output. He's got solo kill potential on most, even the core heroes. The Ember, the Lifesteal, the Slaughter. Theoretically, with a Battle Trance, he can kill them on his own almost. Perhaps just like one Blade Mail or Armlet away from being able to do so.
Yeah, I think if it was a weaker game, maybe the Blade Mail would be necessary, but this game, he's far enough ahead, he's going to go for the Armlet, and that'll make that Battle Trance even better. Once he has that Armlet, I think you're absolutely on the money. He can solo any core at that point.
For Secret, the answer's got to come from finding some pickoffs here. They do not want to necessarily scale late with a Lifesteal. The Ember is not going to be farming well enough. They're being out-farmed, they're being out-picked off, and they need to find some kind of engagement here. Big one is swooping in behind, smoked up.
Still waiting on the Lifestealer. They pick him up with the smoked up Slaughter, and they're going to come in
Weave's
from
already
behind.
prepped, though.
They're going to be able to see Kuro. That's going to be an excellent first pick, but the press the attack is already removed. Kuro manages to get the Shallow Grave off on himself, and now Liquid, well, maybe Miracle? No, he pops the Battle Trance, turns to fight MP. MP can't actually fight that one out anymore. Mid one, he's going to be caught inside the Entangle, unable to get out. Miracle hit by the Frostbite, but again, that's still an Aegis hero, so they can't finish him off. They can't get that one pick off that would give them this numbers advantage, so Liquid keep on pushing forward to take the tier 2, get Ember Spirit, and another smoke gank.
That was the worst possible timing. The Weave wore off like 2 seconds after that fight ended. We wore off, so everyone had plus 16 to 18 armor on the Liquid side through the Weave. That was the worst possible time to try to get kills with Slider Lifesteal. The Ember did some good magic damage, but there was no other source of damage. In 17 minutes, Liquid on the high ground. Oh boy.
Stun out instantly. Double blinked on into Kezu. Mind Control gets control, but there's still the Miracle damage. They'll get the win. Trading creeps back and forth. The Helma Dominator and the Shen get a Frostbite onto the Spirit there, trying to deal with that sieging hero. Might just be able to kill it and get that 300 gold. Press the attack onto the Spirit Bear. Not going to be enough to save it. Matu takes a chunk of damage in return for the nice turnaround. What a crush! GH showing Kezu how it's done. Gets a double crush out, and now Secret It's just MP and mid one. They have buybacks, but who the hell wants to use it this early on? Game 18 minutes. Mind control going to be slowed down now. Pressing attack removed one disabled, but a rope moved the other. But they have to deal with Miracle. He's dealing with the melee Raxes and is still getting out. Another crush out from GH God with a huge nuke over the top. Leads the commander, finished one off. MP drops low. Miracle still has his Aegis. They're putting everything they have to finish him off, but they can't quite do it. He bounces back once again, gets a little bit more chip damage on the range Raxes, but Kuro says, we're done, guys. A successful push. Let's not push our luck as well. 11-2, 18 minutes in, and melee Rax gone. Liquid are way ahead now.
That was like such a good timing. Normally you see teams focus on getting all the outer towers around that first Aegis. If you can get it like 15 minutes a game, you're not thinking high ground. But look at their line. They're like, we've got a lone druid, Spirit Bear, maxed out Rabbit, can actually break down buildings very fast. On top of that, you got this troll with Aegis Battle Trance. They actually threaten the high ground, and Lifesteal and Slaughter are not really ready to fight. They want to play this pick-off style of Dota, but when Liquid are grouping as 5, forcing down a lane, all 5 heroes weaved up, this Slaughter Lifesteal duo is being entirely mitigated. They can't do anything. They can't engage without just getting punished. The second Kezu goes in, he's getting chewed up, picked off, and any hero you go on is just getting graved. If you go on Kuro, he's staying alive. He's got a Solar Crest now. This Solar Crest is going to make Secret's life even more difficult.
Yeah, his initiation, as we saw from the mid lane, it's hard. It's not so simple, right? You can't just jump on the Dazzle and expect good results. Not only tanky, he's got that press the attack, the other saving mechanism of Team Liquid to be able to help out that healer. So it seems at this point Secret can do nothing but just farm, and Liquid are free to just ravage towers one after the other.
They're going high ground.
Druid and a troll. They take tier 1, tier, and push for tier 3 all in the space of about 30 seconds.
Another weave. Don't really want to fight in the next 5-6 seconds because of this weave, but ideally you engage as the weave wears off, and it's gonna perhaps be the timing that Scan sees this smoke rotation. They know exactly what's coming their way. Mind Control could look for the jewel. High ground ward does favor Secret though.
They get the Cat Award now on it.
And they can go back in if they want, or they can look to just fall back, take out some shrines, get some map control. They're not in a rush necessarily. They can wait for that second Roche timing, but similarly, they also know Secret wants space to farm. They need more items. They need a Blink and some on mid one. They need the Desolator on the Lifesteal. Really feel like Secret are just hoping for some breathing room to get a couple of items, and I think Liquid are just going to keep pressing forward to not give them that breathing room.
All right, here's the setup again. They're gonna defensively weave, then they go high ground. They're gonna start beating on the tower to have that battle trance, and that'd be the exact time that Secret don't want to fight. As you said, the build up on weave. But what else do they have? Like they can't just let Miracle beat on these buildings with battle trance the whole entire time. Attempting to initiate now as the weave starts going down. They're going to mind control. He still has some more armor, plus the Solar Crest, the toss back by Kezu, and they get the AoE control. Miracle, now they manage to get a duel on it. MP. Miracle help mind control claim that kill, as well as Puppy up next. The buybacks start flowing in, but they haven't managed to kill any of the backline heroes. Mid one's going for Matu, but Puppy's already called it. GG. Secret. They just get demolished in game 1. Liquid look incredibly strong.
That was such a good draft execution from Liquid. Like, they dominated with that troll lone druid. I feel like this is a strat like they used in the scrim once. They're like, holy crap, this is good. We got to try this out. This is going to win us a game. And with how fast tempo you can play, normally you think this new ranged lone druid is more of like the late game, but this could have been like a standard lone druid build. It was more about like
Team Secret's turn to ban. Liquid's turn to ban. Team Secrets turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Liquids turn to ban.
Team Secret versus Liquid. Team Secret are one
10
game down,
seconds
and it was a
remaining.
very crushing loss. I'm not sure how much we want to
5
attribute to
seconds
draft
remaining.
and how much was also the
Team Secrets turn
Liquid
to pick.
employed gods. I'm feeling like a lot of it was strategy and a lot of it was that last pick troll. So maybe Secret can turn things around here in game 2.
It felt largely strategy in that Liquid's figured
10
out this really good
seconds remaining.
timing. And the more I thought about it during the break was like, yeah, I think they were quite happy to be versing the
5
Ember Spirit
seconds
because they knew
remaining.
they would have this ample amount of sustain and that the Ember Spirit would also be with a
Reserve
mostly
time.
physical damage draft, so there weren't any other heroes to benefit from having that Veil. And if Ember can never use his Fire Remnants aggressively to defend high
Liquids
ground, that
turn to
Veil
pick.
Ember build is very bad for defending. It's good when you're the one on the aggressive, you're the one going in, diving for kills, but the second you have to defend your own base with it, you don't get any of that Fire Remnant damage because that's your escape. So all he was getting was his Searing Chains, Sleight of Fist
10
combo. So
seconds remaining.
I think Liquid had a very clear idea of how to deal with the core Ember and the lack of synergy
5
between the
seconds
Ember and then
remaining.
the Slider Lifestealer.
Reserve time.
And managed to counter it beautifully. So Secret are going to have to change things up somehow. This time around, they did get first pick, so they will get a Slardar once again. Liquid. Is there anything different about the draft? Lone Druid was banned away by Secret. Other than that,
Were the other bands the same? I can't remember what the bands were from game 1.
not in sure as a whole. It's Bat Rider. Well, that
Team
is
Secrets turn
different.
to pick.
That was the ban game 1. I was just
with yeah.
Io Coddle were banned. Ogre Shadow Demon, same 2 bans from Liquid. So this game Io not banned and Liquid will pick it up in the first 2.
10 seconds remaining.
Wonder if Secret considered
Liquids turn to ban.
Hmm.
Ten seconds remaining.
to like
Team Secrets turn ban.
Io and not verse it. Problem was they just lost to this Lone Druid and they want to ban that, and then it's like, well, do we
10
keep banning the
seconds
Coddle or the
remaining.
Io? And they decide the Io is the greater
5
of
seconds remaining.
the 2 to be versing. So Weaver comes out with the Slaughter. I feel like very standard opening from
Reserve
Secret.
time.
Weaver kind of both Weaver and Slaughter flexible, can support, can core, can go different lanes as cores in the case of the Weaver. So it does keep your overall game plan somewhat.
like the Weaver in particular, Bat Rider and Wisp. Wisp is super susceptible to Weavers in general, and then on top of that, you have a Weaver who is a potential safe lane core matchup that is really good against Bat Rider, one of the few cores that can deal with him in a 1v1 scenario. So I think that pickup is big for Secret in the way they're reacting to so far, and Team Liquid, because of a lot of this minus armor and also the synergy with the Weaver, they'll ban away the Ranger as their first in the
Yeah, and they just so want to make sure they put them on at least something a little bit different. Won't be seeing any Drow strats, but definitely expect Secret to pair up some kind of good physical carry with the Slider. Maybe that will be the Weaver, but there are other options if they want to run the Weaver in the off lane or a 4-position type role where they can pick up maybe not a life stealer again, because I think he's could potentially struggle once more. But even something like the PA is something that we've seen played quite a bit. Sometimes by mid one, sometimes by MP. So edge band out another good physical damage core. It seems like that's really the target from Secret.
So they took away the Vengeful Spirit, which I think is to be expected when you have a Bat Rider, but also the synergy with all this. What do you think about the Silencer that Secret have been running so much against a Wisp and Bat? Do you think that's an adequate pickup here to try and counter that strategy?
I think it works well when you've got like a clear initiate, which is, I guess in this case is the Slider. So if you're going to be fighting around the Slider blink initiations, having a Silencer is great because it means you can instantly global silence. Like last game, if you have a global silence to follow up Slider's blink crush, a lot of Liquid's counterplay is just obviously not available to them, and Liquid can't play at that fast tempo, or they have to fight around that global cooldown, which is probably the main issue. Is Liquid played at such a fast tempo, you want to be relying on a long cooldown like a global silence.
Yeah, I mean they don't have a whole lot of long cooldowns on the side of Liquid right now with just. So there was a long cooldown pickup here for, say, Team Liquid, they third picked it. Team Liquid could just go ahead and run a very fast lineup, base it all around lasso time, which is not too long.
Yep. The GH God Rubik comes back once again. Made a couple of really good blink crushes last game with some nice little steals there, so no surprises there with this pickup. And it does leave both Matu and Miracle's heroes for the end of their draft, so they can kind of at least get a little bit more info on what Secret's going to be doing before they decide on their final picks.
5 seconds remaining.
Any other cores that you
Disruptor
against that? The Disruptor against
Liquid's turn to
IO partners, I guess, is probably where I guess my main thoughts would go. I don't know if IO, like Liquid's not necessarily a team who's like, oh, we've got to have one of those obvious like dual combos like the IO Tiny or IO CK. They've done the Tiny a few times, but I feel like Liquid's a team who's more likely to run like a Shadow Fiend or something with an IO, like just like a typical farming frontline core, and not run the IO like aggressively relocating with like a CK or something necessarily.
reserve time.
I don't know your mid matchup yet, but I think it is a nice, well-rounded hero.
Could save it for last as well if you want to protect your mid hero. Pick a safe laner instead. Matu Hero's Necrophos is still in the pool. That's perhaps a consideration. Right now it's looking fairly physical damage, but goes Luna. I think it's like this to me is like a similar idea to the SF, where it's just that front line physical damage carry who can stand there and benefit from the IO save sitting behind her. And immediately Secret get the Darkseer to dual lane down bottom with Slider. So this puts Weaver in the carry role and Darkseer, Slider as like the 3-4 position heroes.
Definitely need, if you're Team Liquid, right, because you're facing a Disruptor and a Weaver, there is a lot of potential for, if Secret can make you break, they can stop your push. If they can make you
5 seconds
retreat from that team fight, there's a lot of opportunity for getting +1, plus maybe even plus pickoffs. So Team Liquid, I think, have to shore up that power as much as possible, and I think that's the similar line. And the Luna. Team Secret are going to have very good laning phase. Is Slord or Darkseer, presumably. The Weaver is as we talked, quite strong core against the Disruptors. So it looks like Team Secret are going to start off trying to get a laning phase win, and then if they can make Liquid just be behind and able to actually get these team fights and not able to get these pushing power, then Team Secret are to get more and more pickoffs with a blink on Slord or the weak constant finding hero.
10
even the
seconds
Disruptor.
remaining.
Yeah, this feels like a different style of game from Liquid. I don't think we'll be seeing that 17 to 20 minute, let's really take Roche, push high ground. I think they're going to be playing more towards the late game, with the IO in general looking to utilize the Bat Rider pickup potential as a big late game tool as well. So they also just have to soak up all that early game pressure. Like Secret's going to be coming at them with some of the stronger lanes you can really expect to see, and I don't think there's a whole lot they can do to match their lanes. So Sniper gets banned by Liquid, which perhaps tips off that Liquid were considering an SF, since Sniper's one of the better matchups to have against him. And then that SF does get banned.
Facing up against Queen of Pain, in want to be able to have a team fighter, but also you
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
that's what I was thinking as well. Invoker seems like a pretty reliable late game oriented core that
Reserve
fits the
time,
Liquid draft,
5
but
seconds
it is miracle.
remaining.
This guy pulls out some bizarre heroes, so similarly, maybe we'll see something wonky. Ember, oh, how do we forget him?
that's true. We
Yep.
it didn't really fit into Secret's lineup ever, so we weren't talking about the mid one Ember Spirit, but the Liquid good against the Queen of Pain. Has some concerns though when it comes to Disruptor, as well as potentially the quick initiation of the Slardar. Secret can actually get a laning phase win and turn the maybe an early Orchid Queen of Pain. Ember Spirit could have it.
Yeah, I think the downsides of this Secret lineup, which maybe Liquid can kind of at least have some size of is that there isn't great pushing power. So while they have got this scary laning stage and this scary mid-game timing around the Slardar Blink, they don't necessarily turn pickoffs or kills into early
10
objectives,
seconds
which is
remaining.
where Liquid should at least be able to maintain decent control of their side of the map. If
5
Luna can at least get
seconds
some
remaining.
decent farm, get like a Helm of the Dominator going, we should be able to see Liquid play like a more farming. It's going to be the way to make sure you can get those towers. 'Cause if you can take early objectives
Prepare for
as
battle.
well as get those kills, you're going to be in a very advantageous position.
We push out. Wards. Control is actually going to block the hard camp.
Okay.
This is a rather common ward, which may still be countered. Potential rotations. Disruptor's not going to be needed in lane all the time. That is one advantage of having a Weaver against a Bat Rider. So he is going to be... Who knows? Maybe... And even gank up the mid lane pre-level 6. All important, trying to keep that Ember Spirit down before he gets his remnants. But he is going to have a lot of backup, right? You've got GH on the Wisp, who's going to be able to help the lane's offense that is coming out from Secret, help give them
30
on the
seconds
side
to
of Liquid a little bit more.
Yeah, mid lane rotations. Perhaps Puppy's will be the one who could theoretically look for that around like his level 3. Smoke up and go try and catch him by surprise if you've got like a level 5 Queen of Pain, but Disruptor is likely going to be kept busy by this Bat Rider because Bat has a lot of regen, very laning oriented items, and he's going to be looking to contest the lane for the time being. No one going for any aggressive bounty rune plays. It looks like we will just be seeing a pretty standard setup from both teams.
Both supports trying to block out the mid lane to give mid one the best opportunity. He can the creep wave on his side of the hill against a melee hero. He can really like that little bit of a bump. Both supports are going to smoke up now. Going Kezu in the bottom lane. See if we can get a quick kill. Get the first blood for Kezu and also get him level 2, which is also quite important, particularly against Luna lane.
He's not here. He's walking back to pick up his bottle or something. I imagine this could be disaster for Liquid's tri lane to start things off.
This lovely
There
path
is a
does
lift.
go all the way down and
Yes.
around, but they just pinged it on the side of Liquid. Bat Rider maybe gave the info that there's nobody here at the
Yep.
top lane, so...
You also expect Slider's going to be bomb with Dark, so you don't expect him to necessarily be hidden. And similarly with the Disruptor, you expect him to be showing top and trying to zone mind control, so it's really unconventional to have both supports missing, and I feel like we're at that point where teams have seen this level 1, both supports hiding in the trees enough that they're somewhat wizened up to it. With that said, they are still there and hoping for something to turn up.
You know, if they're really clever gods, the first wave should give you level 2 on Darkseer. That didn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had his split experience with the support sitting on the side here, so they may have also noticed that little fact. Oh.
Yep,
So
that's a good point.
Matsu just going to be farming the neutral, staying away from this spot, and Puppy and Bylai Dye are still there. They're still waiting for their opportunity.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if Liquid's going to give it to them ever.
This is starting to become a lot of wasted time for them. At this point, it should be very apparent that these heroes are going to some kind of shenanigans. Miracle's playing up the lane, so he's basically accepted his fate. Like, if they smoke gank him, he's just saying, alright, I'm dead. Like, there's no escape for him if he's getting smoke wrapped on, but it seems they were well aware that they were in this bottom lane, because Flatter has now left the lane, going for the bounty room, which isn't even there, and will have to back off to his own bounty room, potentially, if he wants to catch up on some experience and farm.
Midwan trying to finish him off. He does have a fresh Shadow Strike, and here comes the Wisp. The turnaround.
No break.
We've seen it before. That'll be first blood for Miracle.
Yeah, went for the early Sleight of Fist value point to try dodge Shadow Strike, although it looked like he'd been hit by it regardless, so really missed time. Didn't see what happened there, but the turnaround does happen, and that is a lane you're meant to win as Queen, and one overextension, suddenly it's going slightly the Ember's way.
Highlight Eye and Puppy, what you up to, buddies? They're kind of sitting around in this jungle area, hanging about. Looks like Disruptor is going to try Slaughter Illusion, push back the Wiz from being able to stack camp.
At this point, Matu's actually the top CSer. He's had 3 heroes down in his lane for like the entire first 3 minutes, yet is still top CS. Obviously, those heroes were hiding and hoping for a kill, but that is worrying for Secret.
One, you gonna jump for it? Nah, he decides against it. He might be able to kill GH, but he very likely die to Miracle as a return, so that's not worth it. They wait for a separation, get a Thunderstrike onto GH. He's so low, but the bottle will keep him alive. Pilot die, just sticks around in lane. Right clicks Miracle.
They're sharing bottle charges now. Yeah, Miracle's bottling up GH. Puppy's trying to come in from behind, but constant bottles. Miracle doesn't have his Searing Chains anymore, and he's actually in trouble.
Sleight of Fist! What a dodge from Miracle! Puppy misses the crush that was necessary for them to be able to stop this pursuit. Now Miracle might be able to get it. Chains, high ground, Whiz Balls, they got him. Puppy
What
dies.
a play. I love that buyback too from GH. He knows he can come back in with bottle charges to turn this one around. Mid one, you gotta be careful, my friend. Luckily gets the Arcane Rune, that saves his life. That was an insane play from him. I don't know about that, but the fast fingers at least get him the rune, and he gets out of there okay.
Playing some high risk, high reward mid plays right now between these two teams. Very aggressive in each other's face, but it is coming out to the favor of Liquid so far, 2-1, thanks to large part Miracle surviving. Slight as this play. Top lane, we haven't talked about it too much. NP versus Mind Control. We said Weaver can deal with this 1v1 better than most other heroes, and see the results in the CS 25-4 compared to the 15-1 of the.
Yeah, there's nothing back can do to Zona Weaver. Like, he gets Magic Wand, and you've got to use Napalm, because otherwise you're not really able to farm in this lane as a bat outside of Fire flying down lane. So you basically accept the fact you're going to give Weaver a permanent 17-1 charges, but the result is at least Mind Control getting some alright farm himself. Has 17-18 CS in this lane, so I think both sides getting what they want out of this lane for the time being.
As he's working towards, he does actually pick up early boots here, so we won't have the immediate mech. Soul Ring boot. Level 6 finally picked up our Amber Spirit mid, so Miracle won't need that helping hand from GH as much anymore, which is why he's top lane. Dead kid.
Probably just gonna try to bring some wards top. I believe they're kind of fed up with Mind Control getting all this free XP and farm, and they want to contest it. Fire scan. We'll spot Mind Control walking back through, but doesn't look like they're gonna be able to find this kill. He's now got Flaming Lasso as well, so rotation potential is there for the Bat Rider. It seems for now he's happy just to keep farming it up in his jungle, look for that fast blink dagger.
You know, I have praised Secret multiple times for Puppy and his rotations. Nice change for Miracle, but unfortunately that will not grant him the 6-minute rune. It's that.
Double damage as well. It's not going to be able to get bottled up for now by mid one. He's bottled back on the courier.
You know, Puppy always finds a way. You know, his rotations in the laning phase, I think, are very often a key to success for Secret, and Liquid have completely shut him and the Disruptor out this.
Yeah, I feel like Puppey has been in some ways the early game MVP for Secret in all their games so far. He's been able to get so much done with early pickoffs for him and his team, and this is the first game where the first series where it feels like a team has figured him out, like watched his movements, figured out where he likes to play, and just made all the right reads, because Puppey has been completely neutered, and we have not seen any success out of him. He's fairly low level now as a result. He's really only had some bounty runes here and there to kind of pick up his farm and experience growth. And over on the Radiant side, like the IO's got more than him. GH is level 4.5 and working on a decent bit of CS as well. So this is concerning for Secret. This Slaughter is currently not looking like he's going to have a particularly well-timed Blink Dagger.
The Dominator picked up by the Luna. I was checking for Satyr camps. He does pick up that Helmatom.
Yeah.
If he can grab that Purge Creep, much like we saw from Necrophos in our...
Yep. There's one not too far away from him if he wants to go venturing out there. Level 7 now with an Eclipse, so yeah, he's holding onto a TP ready to rotate. May see a smoke rotation early with him. Problem is, against the Darkseer, it becomes very obvious if you rotate off the lane, because the lane's always pushing with Iron Shell, so you can't go missing too long. Matu checks a couple of camps, doesn't find a Satyr, and he actually scouts it with the... Oh, the crew was heading mid anyways, but if he was... I thought for a second he was using it to scout, but he may have seen the Satyrs there if he wants it.
Matu trying to get a kill here. He's got the Eclipse sitting high ground. He's going to pop it here. One of the Eclipses does hit the bird, but it doesn't matter. He's got enough to be able to finish off the Darkseer. That came as complete surprise to Kezu.
Oh man, he was going for the bird as well, Cap. That's the efficiency play.
Yeah, that's what it is. So Matu's maximum farm, baby.
Yeah. Nice use of the Eclipse. Often you see a rotation, but getting a solo kill on a barely farmed Darkseer at this point is well worth it, and just means he's going to now spend the next couple minutes farming more so than rotating with his team.
Even better, gods. That camp is now going to have a fresh wave at 9 minutes. Better chance for the Satyr.
Anything else you think he'd consider other than a Satyr at this point? Like if he found like, alright, I'll take that instead, like a Centaur or a Frost Mage or anything?
Maybe it's possible, like the Hellbear Smasher. I think it's the highest damage dealing nuke besides the Thomas the Satyr. You want either one of the Satyrs, right? Would also be the big Satyr that would also nuke. Maybe that Hellbear. It's tanky and it also does a good amount of damage with its...
He's taken the alcoholic Kobold Foreman with him.
Alright. I would like to see... That movement speed is insane.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. When you get it early on, it can be a big difference maker. So right now it feels like not a whole lot happening in this lane stage, which is mid lane. Miracle gets a bit aggressive, but that's good news for Liquid. Like I feel like their lineup is the one that wants to have a fairly quiet laning stage if possible. No kills for the Darkseer Slaughter duo. Queen of Pain not dominating her lane. A quiet laning stage is a good one for Liquid.
Absolutely. Atu's farming away. Miracle is actually going to pick up the treads before our early Veil Discord. But all these timings for the cores, right, are more around 15 minutes. Especially the Bat Rider, who will actually have a Blink Dagger before 15. It looks like that glimpse is not going to be effective enough, but maybe the Kinetic Field pulling him in. He is over the cliff here, but he's got bugs on him. They are going to have to relocate in. They're going to be able to catch the highlight die. D8 with a level 6 before 10 minutes, maybe catches Secret by surprise.
Yeah, that was a good relocate. Like you said, very early level 6 on the IO being the big thing there. Luna even TPing in to shore up that rotation as well. Leaves Kuro down bottom to get a bit of farm, get some levels himself, get his own level 6. He gets given the trust of the Kobold to help assist him down there. But top lane, back comes Team Secret, but this just doesn't feel like they can do a whole lot to Matu. He's tanky enough, he has some good early game farm and can't really be dealt with all too easily. This is dangerous now. We're entering the stage of the game where Mind Control's going to have a very early blink, and as far as Secret's blink go, the Slaughter, it's a long ways off, so this game, at least as far as initiation advantage goes, is going to heavily favor Liquid. Now they're at a stage where they can use their smokes. That's all Miracle really wants, is a teammate who can initiate for him so he can follow it up, dump all his damage in, and I imagine we'll see Liquid start getting very aggressive in the next 3 to 4 minutes.
Ooh, that's an early static storm, but quite close enough. Maybe he didn't feel comfortable laying it down. But
yeah, I think if Puppy like timed the crush perfectly, he would have followed it up on the crush, but without a crush, it was a bit challenging.
Secret, thanks in part to the tome, they do have that critical level 6. That was part of the problem, right? Once that laning phase, the first couple rotations don't work out for Puppy and Pi, then you have a low level. Oh god, mid one runs right into an Eclipse with the mini stun of the Moonbeam itself, the Lucian being used. He manages to quickly execute the Queen of Pain. What a big pickup for Matu.
Yeah. And Mind Control farmed an Ancient stack. I realize you can do damage to Ancients now, but I did not ever really consider, like, oh, Batrider, Ancient stack. Sure, he got like 8 or 9 Napalm stacks and took out a nice little stack of Ancients there, so he's now got his Blink Dagger and some on top of that. It's level 10, so this Batrider going to be a scary force at this stage of the game. All 3 Liquid cores have good farm and have hit timings they want for their item pickups, so dangerous times for Secret, who, if this was like a passive lane stage where they were at least like playing a farming efficiency game where like Puppy was level 6, close to his Blink Dagger, you'd be like, alright, they're going to get like a 13-14 minute blink, but Puppy's only not even halfway to his Blink Dagger.
Is there something about the Disruptor that makes the Blink Dagger more important for the Ember Spirit? Because he's not going I was trying to figure out, is it because Mind Control is going to go big? Because it's mega value. It's not just Ember, but it's Batrider as well.
Yeah. I mean, it does give you that ability to just blink on top of Disruptor, blow him up, but typically, yeah, I'm totally as confounded as you are by this one, where I guess you're just so used to seeing the cookie cutter build that you just don't expect something a bit different, and this blink in some ways allows you to be more aggressive, because you can just constantly blink steering chains in and have remnants to escape.
Napalm, they do have the relocate coming in from GH and Miracle. First little bit of nuke. Static Storm catches some, but the kinetic field's going to be stopped. Hero managed to get the telekinesis and a good crush following that up, but now they actually managed to get a really good Sonic Wave that hits multiple heroes, but it just doesn't seem to be enough for Secret to fully win the fight. Maybe with the relocate back, though, they can kill Matu. No, he gets a TP away as well. They trade 1 for 2 unless they can get Mind Control. Yeah. So that'll be a 2 for 2. TH, don't make it 2 for 3, or maybe 3 for 3. Almost gets Puppy. The balls, it's not good enough. All right, 2 for 3 in the end, to the favor of Secret.
Yeah, he did a really good job bursting down Miracle there. He was in a very dangerous position to just destroy that fight with a haste room, but that one Slider crush was all they needed to throw all the damage they had on him, including the Sonic Wave. And if they don't burst down Miracle there, he's able to like come in and out of the fight, perhaps bottle up, use his wand, and get multiple searing chains off. Even a 200 HP Ember who's still alive can have an impact on a fight because of that haste room mobility. So very good defensively played team fight by Secret. For Liquid, didn't get a chance to get any Eclipse off. I think it was still on cooldown from the previous one, and that was a big missing factor for them. But the biggest thing was they missed the initiation. Batrider didn't get that clean blink lasso off. They relocated in almost expecting that lasso to have gone off, but he just slightly misplaced it, and end result is Team Secret win their first clash of the game.
Deceptive rule.
One tower is going to fall as a result. Attempted to deny here from mid one. Doesn't catch it. Miracle still sitting with his.
Oh, there's a lasso.
Find it on MP. There goes the lasso. They're going to follow up with the chains, but MP does get off the time lapse. They threw down the ultimate there from Matu as well, just to try and get that burst damage necessary to kill MP. But they didn't really have the controlling abilities. Telekinesis wasn't there. Speaking of telekinesis, Girl's going to be pulled back. Nice vacuum turnaround there with the telekinesis. Does a decent amount of control and damage, but nothing Liquid want to fight into.
Yeah, they fumbled that one on MP. They threw an Eclipse. They threw the triple Fire Remnant. They really went all out to try and get that kill, but they needed the follow-up Disable more than they needed those spells to be used. Kuro was just out of range with his rotation in for a telekinesis. Doesn't have the gap closing capabilities of an Ember or a Batrider, so they couldn't quite follow it up, and slightly misjudged, as Liquid will have to go back to the drawing board, wait for some of those cooldowns to come back up. A good sequence of plays gives Team Secret nice little second wind here, as MP is proven to be very effective on the Weaver. This has given Puppy room to try and finish off his Blink Dagger now, up to 2k gold. He's just a camp or two away from finishing this off.
That is be a big difference for a Secret. This whole entire time they've been operating without any really hard initiation. They've just been responding to Liquid's aggression. Now they can finally retain control. Miracle did change up his build. He's gonna go for Lincoln's now instead to help deal with that glimpse. I think I might be totally wrong here. I think you can actually blink as you get glimpse back into the static storm. I think there's like a quarter of a second where you can blink before the damage. Maybe that was the idea of Miracle, as well as the offensive abilities. The vacuum back into the wall. Mid one will have, thanks in parts of the arcane room, the opportunity. And 7 to 5, no.
Yeah, they get the tower top, but it's back.
Maybe field, not going to be able to trap Curl. He'll run for the safety of Matu.
I think Liquid just happy to perhaps play around more the farming game now. Matu's continue to accelerate his own item progression, and Weaver is not really the biggest threat to a Luna in the late game, so this feels like a pretty good lane game for Matu just to outfarm everyone and not really be contested too much in the late game. Does have to worry a bit about the Darkseid wall since those illusions will hurt him and his team. But outside of that, it does feel like this is a game where Luna is going to scale better than most of the other cores around. Puppy with his blink. Gets
Stuck inside the static storm. Secret pull a lot to make sure that Ember Spirit does die, but they know, especially mid one, quite familiar with the way that Hula can snowball. Well worth the kill, but to be able to find more too. GH gets caught on the side of the trees. Good blink in from Puppy. Would seem to now struggle against Secret. They're doing fine in the laning phase, but now as we start getting to the second phase with Blink on Puppy, things are beginning to turn. Almost finished up, working towards Fanta on MP, so not the early Diffuse Blade, not the early Desolator either. That Manta is a nice quick reaction spell. We've seen Lincoln's usually being picked up against the Bat Rider, but it seems MP feels comfortable going for the quick Manta use. Oh, never mind. There's Lincoln's. Who was I clicked on? Was I clicked on the right hero?
On the Luna?
Jesus, sorry, maybe it was.
It's early.
Zed. What is Zed?
Zed? That's random team name from WESG qualifiers. But yeah, so what are things looking like now? So as it stands, Luna's the net worth, but I think Secret are going to be continuing to look for fights. They've got this Blink Dagger up, they've got Smoke ready to go as well. Perhaps they wait for MP to finish his Lincoln Sphere, but I feel like if you're the aggressors, you're the one getting the jump, that Lincoln isn't necessarily the biggest deal. You shouldn't have to wait around for it. Win a fight, pick off, and then try and use this Slatter Weaver to take an early Roshan.
Also got the Blink Dagger coming in on Darkseer. With that combination, if they can get it, vacuum into Blink Crush from Puppy, that might be worth waiting.
Mid one gets a Yule Scepter for himself, so he's got nice setup, also a nice defensive tool if he blinks in aggressively and there's like an Eclipse or a Searing Chains on him and he just needs to buy himself some time for that blink to come back up, so it does feel like Secret are just about ready to go. And there's the 4-man smoke. They show mid one mid, yeah, a little bit less obvious what is going on, and see if this loop around. They'll be bypassing Observe Ward, so this could catch Liquid by surprise.
Bit of subterfuge for Secret, wrap it around from the side here, trying to make their long way into this mid lane. Kuro and GH are positioned accordingly, though.
They have scanned it too. They have a pretty good idea of where Liquid are, but they also know that they've got the best approach onto this one. Matu in the front is very tanky here. He's got 900 HP. Doesn't quite get on top of them. Now he will.
Yeah, he has that nighttime vision. Secret's been spotted. They're going to glimpse back thanks to the ward. Send back the Bat Rider. Secret now away from that ward. Still holding their 5-man group here, but Liquid are not going to push it. It's too dangerous there. As a whole, Liquid have dodged the threat quite nicely and can return to farming, right? They don't need to try and force a fight.
Oh yeah, again, to go back to the draft, this is where Secret don't really shine, is being able to push. They can't just say, okay, our smoke failed, but now we have 5 heroes bot. Typically, you go for that, you know you're the team who's like in a slightly better position, ready to fight now, which is kind of Secret with the Lincolns on Weaver and the Blink initiation. If you 5-man smoke to the enemy side of the map, you don't find a kill, you take the tower, but their draft doesn't push in timely fashion. They'd be giving up probably Roshan if they go for that bot lane, so at this stage, pushing the bottom side of the map is not really worth it because of that Roche trade, or even just trading for farm elsewhere on the map. It's going to be a losing exchange for them.
Darkseer, Miracle is so close to his lane.
Seen early gem pick up by Kuro. Definitely one of the players, captains, who really likes to prioritize getting a gem earlier than other teams, but we'll see what he can make from this one.
If they're tier 1 5, going to be able to defend that one. Secret now rotating top, mid 1.
He's out of there.
Hoping to be able to set up some sort of Yule Scepter play with X Storm, but Miracle rather, excuse me, playing it safe. You know, why wouldn't he? Honestly, Liquid's getting all the farm they need right now. Matu's able to make the most out of the jungle more than any other hero in this game, so he's finishing up that Manta, which will allow him to push down lanes again with very little commitment from Liquid, and that's one of the beauties of Ember and Luna on the same team. Ember pushes out these lanes with, you know, very little to fear for the most part, thanks to it. Luna, with a wisp behind him, could do similar with just the illusions or just the hero with the relocate.
Yeah. The Lincoln still does not protect him against that slight disruptor duo, like the Blink Crush and the Static Storm will still be able to take Miracle split pushing, so we'll still have to play fairly cautiously around this item pickup, but it does make it a bit harder for Secret to engage on him. We'll definitely deter Quap from going for any kind of Orchid build, and it looks like Quap is thinking Lincolns as well. Try and take the bat right of the game. If you get Lincolns on 2 out of these 3 cores, Darkseer I doubt will get one as well, but just having the double Lincolns on the 2 main carries for Secret make it very difficult for the Batrider to engage. That isn't really the best way of breaking him. Lincoln's like Matu on the front lines with a Lucent Beam, but they haven't got the best access to it. There we go, mid.
Crush, Lincoln's broken as well. The Static Storm holding in Miracle. He can't make it out of here. Liquid will leave him to die. 80, with an opening like that, Secret can take that mid-tier 1 final.
Yeah, the Roche is the other objective they'd like to go for, perhaps, but this mid-tier 1 is, like, you know, if you're going to get a better chance to take it. He's still Shikuchi, which is annoying, and Puppy's in a pretty good position here if he doesn't get caught out and blown up to start things off, and that seems to be Mind Control's idea. Take out the opposing team's initiative if possible. He's got the Lincolns. If you can get Slaughter or something, or perhaps a Queen of Pain.
Mid 1, he gets a little bit too far forward. They try and give him the Lincolns, but it's not going to stop that AoE damage, but a nice turn things around. Maybe the relocate out. GH does manage to save Kuro's life there. Matu is going to be chased down by MP, attempting to go for the kill before the time lapse, but it's not good enough. The physical damage isn't there. Kuro can't finish off Puppy. Comes backwards again now. GH earns from winning. He originally started here with Control in tow. They're going to try and chase MP.
That's back.
Still has the blink forward and the gem. Flame break.
That's going to log. Is that going to kill him? The 1 charges are there. That's one more tick. 20 HP. Ow. Blink
any
forward?
of the spirit balls.
That 1 charge just saved his life there. Dang. Nice attempt from Mind Control and a great team fight from Liquid, punishing mid-1's positioning there. He went in way too aggressively there, perhaps just thinking because they killed the Ember Spirit, there's no way that Liquid's going to defend it, but when you get gifted a kill like that, you sure as hell will fight into that one. The big thing there is Matu to make sure he gets the Eclipse off before the counter initiation comes. The second the last is off, he's using that Eclipse because he knows Darkseer Slaughter are going to be using that Vacuum Crush combo to try and counter initiate to keep the Queen of Pain alive. So very quick burst damage coming out from Liquid, punishing mid 1.
He's trying to got on hits of his own. Dual Scepter. Not served to help him that engagement. 9-9, 25 minutes in. Liquid are beginning to bounce back with this farming time in that team fight. Small experience. Now, the bigger danger is talked about the lack of pushing power from Team Secret. They aren't managing to make these team fights work, which means they don't hold a whole lot of map control like onto it this a very early mid-game aggressive lineup like this. Wanted to be able to take that tier 1 and it's still quite healthy for Liquid to play around.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take Roshan is probably something also that they were hoping for this spares, and yeah, tier 1 tower standing, Roche untouched 26 minutes in with a Slardar Weaver. Things have not gone according to plan for Secret, but they also haven't gone disastrously either. They've managed to at least be in the more dominant force in the mid game, but that remained the case. Mid being hunted down here.
Oh, he doesn't get off the Yule Scepter on himself, so Mind Control can get the lasso first.
Strike.
Highlight die.
Jump for more. Pilot Eye's gonna have to send him back. No, he actually just goes to the Static Storm, giving up his life for it, but maybe his team can punish, but the relocate out of this. Now Matu actually pops the Eclipse as MP poked his head out, tried to hit on Curl a little bit, but Matu says no.
That's a very problematic fight to lose for Secret because Liquid's now in position at the high ground to take the tier 2 tower. They probably don't have enough time at the high ground. They may fall back to go for Roche, although they haven't got the best damage to kill it. But with 30 seconds on Queen of Pain, 20 on the Disruptor Slider, there may be just enough time for them to get Roche if they're fast. We'll see what Liquid think about it. Now they are just lingering around this area of the map, and yeah, those respawn time is getting shorter and shorter, but they are going to start getting into the pit to go for it.
There's no denying that Liquid are making the right kind of reads and rotations and stuff like that. It does seem like Midwan is having a bit of an off game, or we've been reliably watching him dominate games for Secret and Fia, whether it's a big tempo controller or a late game carry for them. Here he is struggling on the quick game, the heavier impact.
Yeah.
So far, 16,000 net worth on Monster.
He's huge. Nice remnant dodge from Miracle. Gets away from the Blink Crush. He had his Lincolns down as well, so that was a dangerous timing. And Miracle is just zoning them while the team go for Roshan. He's just positioning himself very aggressive, using the Sleight of Fist Searing Chains, and he creates the space for Matu to finish off Roshan. And it's now a level 20 Luna, an Aegis BKB, ready to start pushing down all these outer towers. Mid1 does finally manage to complete his Lincoln Sphere, but it's at a timing where you don't want to fight. I feel like if he had not had those couple of deaths in a row, we would have had this Lincolns 2 or 3 minutes ago when Secret were strong, and potentially that first goes Secret's way because of the Lincolns, and then it's them getting rushed and them getting a couple of towers. So those two pickers on Mid1, you mentioned he's not in the best game, they're really, really hurtful for Secret's overall game plan here, losing him like that.
And smoke up into the dire jungle while Miracle is pushing out bottom, but pushing it out in a very safe area, hiding in the trees. He's gonna jump back to mid lane. MP shows himself. Maybe Liquid feels like they need Ember Spirit for this push, but Mavan's just gonna be able to take it. Keep going here with this Aegis. Very early high ground push. I expected it last game because it seemed like they were in such a dominant position they might as well. But here, threatening high ground with this Aegis a little faster than I expected.
Be lucky not to get caught there. A fishing Sleight of Fist happened to hit him there, and he did not have buyback. If he went down, that would have been the initiation gone. But the slow, steady tier 3 tower going down. Once his tower's gone, the Rax is almost inevitably will fall because of the bouncing glaives, and that looks like exactly where we're headed. This is looking more and more difficult to engage into.
Mind Control tries to counter the initiation from Puppey, but maybe it's better he didn't. Miracle needs to help get a GH relocated out just in time. And as you said, Gods, that 10% HP Ember Spirit can still do a lot for them. So Miracle may be out, he may be low, 700 HP right now, but he can still have a large impact.
GH is low enough that they can just perhaps share some of that regen. He's also got the urn charges. Oh, Puppy.
Before he can initiate, knocked in by the searing chains is MP. Gonna be able to catch GH God before the time lapse. Oh, Curl! He forced staffed in, managed to get a cut, but what a vacuum from Kezu. It doesn't save MP though. MP couldn't get off the ability. They do have the bouncing Luna Glaive that's gonna do a lot, finishing off the two supports, almost killing Miracle as well. Lincoln's for Lincoln's. A glimpse back, but nothing there to be able to catch Miracle. Now here comes Matumba Man, the highest net worth hero. There are a lot of heroes who are close, but Matumba Man never was. Still has that Aegis support with Kezu. Aggressive Secret trying to focus on the back lines, but now they have to deal with Matumba Man. He is manning up, giving up his Aegis to be able to finish this one off and maybe even kill mid one as well. The Dual Scepter saves his life. He blinks backwards. There goes that Aegis, but Lane racks by 30.
Yeah, I mean, if they could kill Macho on the retreat, it'd maybe be in somewhat acceptable position here for them, but even killing Macho looks very difficult. His BKB's about to come back up.
Relocate back in GH. They're going to fight this one out with Matumba Man. He's inside with a glimpse back, but now he is stopping Secret from retreating. If they want to get back to base, they have to go through him. We saw Kezu die because of that one. Puppy being delayed up by Mind Control gets in front of him with the Firefly. Will take that kill as well. You gotta understand, Secret, they did what they had to do, right? You said they needed to be able to kill Matumba Man just to be able to make that a somewhat acceptable position, so they went for that aggressive play, but Liquid, they had the recourse, maybe they can still catch Miracle. Mid one is desperate to try and get any sort of kills here. Maybe with the Static Storm they can't. Miracle locked in, they've got the damage to be able to finish him up. There it is, but a stolen Static Storm actually laid out mid one. He can't immediately blink away. Now tries to get out Yule Scepter onto the Bat Rider, but he is slowed down by the Seeking Napalm. Defensive Yule slows down mid one even more, but they can't get anything off before the blink goes down. So Matumba Man just going to use that space to backdoor the tier 1 tower to creep wave as well.
Courier went down, was that Butterfly or something from the Luna?
Where did it go? Oh man, it was deep inside that shop area, but yeah, that was Butterfly. Matumba Man could kind of use it right now because MP is threatening him with the corrosive haste. He pops the BKB, taking off that minus armor. MP's taking a lot of this one, but he can't output enough damage. Now caught in after the time lapse into the lasso. Liquid, time and time again, they seem to have the counter to Secret's aggression. Secret are playing so into Liquid because they know they have to. They need to make a fight work for them. This kind of lineup, but it's just not happening.
The IO picks worked out so well. Like Matu, when they tried to catch Matu on the retreat after losing the melee racks, it felt like a favorable situation. Secret were respawning, they had a numbers advantage, but the IO respawn brings in the +1, and suddenly it's actually a 5v5. It's no longer that 5v3 that you thought you had, and that's where Liquid are just able to constantly sustain their numbers and make sure they protect their cause very well. GH has been very impressive, as have the other utility support heroes in Mind Control and Kuro. Matu, and even Miracle. Miracle just feels like the distraction in a lot of these fights where they're focusing so much on trying to kill the Ember. Matu's just gone unnoticed this entire game.
Second lane of Rack, Secret. They had to be the ones in control by 30 minutes, but it was quite the opposite. Liquid's very dominant lead, gonna smoke up and maybe deal the finishing blow with this 5-man. They can go straight through mid or bottom with these our tier 3 tower gone.
I'd love to find a pick off here. Puppy Slider poking his nose out.
Puppy gonna be caught by the lasso, pulled back to his doom.
I hear the deep ones.
And he's been put down. Well, that possibly signals the end as they make a beeline towards this top lane. They don't need an Aegis, they don't need the Butterfly. By the time that Kuro comes back, he'll probably have a Sky to go with the Butterfly, but ultimately Matu, he's basically like a 15k net worth Luna right now with all the items on the courier and his money stocked up, but that's more than enough for Liquid to push in this top lane potentially.
Smoked up, trying to hide their positioning in the back lines. Highlight Die knows his Static Storm really is the only way to be able to save this if they can get the right vacuum, blink in, all of that up with Crush, Kinetic Field, Static Storm, everything.
It's still
go their
on Kuro
way.
though. Kuro still has it stolen.
Oh, that's
Dyer's top tower.
Very
is
difficult for
under
mid one or MP to deal with. They've got Lincolns, but they do not have a way out of the silence.
it's not like you're going to be able to tell either. If they go ahead and vacuum and disrupt their static storms, and then Rubik puts it in there, Puppy might just jump into his own static storm thinking, all right, I'm going to follow this up with a crush and find himself silenced.
Speaking of silences, Miracles opted for the Orchid build. Very unconventional build out of him, but going for something a little bit different. Great as far as controlling and locking down the Queen of Pain or the Weaver. Just have to find a way to break their Lincolns first. And
A soldier's fortune.
Shrines will drop now. Perhaps just considering next Roshan as the game ender, or just waiting their time, seeing if they can find another pick off, because they're smoking up, they're drawing lines on this top lane. I think they know 4x advantage. Luna, as found as she is, Butterfly finally about to arrive. They'll be ready to go soon.
Roll.
They saw that
And the
ward get
off to end
planted.
the game. Take that ward. MP will be the one to kill it because he's got that Lincoln. He's got the mobility. They'll have to be careful though. Mind control can easily go up the north side. The smoke fails. They are going to go for mid one. They actually managed to pop that Lincoln and will bring him down inside the Eclipse. Kezu is also quite low. Couldn't get off anything.
Silent.
Now working it up. He doesn't get off the vacuum on top of the wall. MP tries to move forward. The gem is on the ground, but no one from Secret dares to pick it up. Miracle just dives right in, gets the backline chain 2 up, immediately gets a good flight assist, and now Matama Man will make short work of Puppy. The bouncy blades threatening MT's life as well. He activates the shrine, but it's over for Secret. Liquid 2-0. Just like that, we said this could be the closer of the two series, but it couldn't be farther from the truth. Liquid very clearly one step above Secret in this series.
Yeah, very wrong in my assessment of this series coming in. Liquid, I mean, they 2-0'd Secret last time, and Secret have definitely been playing better since that series, but Liquid themselves elevating their game to another level. Just great spell usage that last fight, silencing the Darkseer while they blinked in and lassoed the Queen of Pain. They just fought around the Lincoln spheres very well. Often you see teams struggle to continue to find those initiations with Batrider when those Lincoln spheres come up, but they have this Luna on the front lines who's just hitting the buildings, just using Lucent Beam to break them, and the second they're broken, Batrider finds his openings to go in. So really well played by Liquid. Them and Bears, that is going to be quite a series, because I feel like Liquid are maybe in my mind a little bit favored. I mean, it's still hard to know. I mean, Bears are undefeated. They haven't been truly tested yet, perhaps, but this is going to be like the first like real big test for them versus Liquid.